Those of you who watch my channel probably know I'm a Popcross Studios fan, and I do not hide it at all. And he has announced that at 500,000 subscribers, he will do Pokemon as Superheroes, a reboot of his original series. I don't doubt in my mind at all that he'll get there, but I wanted to join on the action myself. And last year, I made 2 videos about My Hero Academia characters getting Mega Evolutions. And I tied in this character called Lucas Rio, which is obviously Lucario, that I named Power Arm. Even though his superhero name could have just been Lucario, his name is still going to be Power Arm in this, so yeah. Anyway, leave a like and subscribe if you want to, and enjoy the video. Lucas Rio had been feeling aimless ever since the events of the Mega Stone. He was a failure as a hero. He was brainwashed and forced to hurt a couple of high schoolers. Lucas had had enough of wallowing in his self-pity and returned to his agency. He walked over to his sidekick Riolu's desk and asked for the most obscure case they had. The answer horrified him. Did the hero Power Arm really disregard several missing children in the favor of more glory? The thought sickened him. He decided to take on the first case that was reported to him. A little girl with blue skin, sheep-like hair, and an electricity quirk. He had grabbed a toy the parents said she was playing with the day she disappeared, and followed her trail. The journey took him till nightfall. He had found a storage unit where the girl's aura was strongest. She had to be in that building, but just as he was about to break in, he was struck by a red and white blur. "Get down, hero!" Power Arm threw the figure off him. "You are under arrest for the kidnapping of—" "Shut up! I didn't kidnap anyone. The ones who did would have killed you before you had time to blink." Two men stepped out of a car, wearing balloon masks, and opened up the car to reveal more children. "Who are you? And what are those guys over there? What's going on with all these missing kids?" "You can call me Zarwark, and those guys call themselves Drifloon and Drifloon. They've been kidnapping several kids with animal-related quirks, and they've also got my daughter." I'm sorry. Let's go down there and get back those kids." "Whoa, are you deaf? I just told you these were very dangerous people. We need a plan. I've been searching for these guys for weeks. I don't even know if my daughter's alive." "Well, the kid I was just tracking is alive because her aura is very strong. She was the first of these kids to be kidnapped, so if she's alive, there's a good chance everyone else is too." This finally calmed down Zarwark, and they discussed a plan. Zarwark's quirk, Baneful Illusion, allowed her to create illusions that felt real. Zarwark would handle the two balloon brothers, as she called them, and Power Arm would get the children. And if they got caught, backup was on the way. He learned his lesson from last time, although backup wouldn't be there for hours. Zarwark created a mist that blinded the two villains, and Power Arm used his quirk to find the aura and guide the children to safety. Power Arm then went into a building to find the other children. He focused on the aura of the girl he was tracking earlier. It led him to a room that looked run down, but he could barely make out that it was an old play area. "Hello, little children, I'm here to take you home." "No, you're not." Power Arm felt a giant sting in his back before he realized he couldn't move. A man in a dark green cloak, wearing darker clothes, and a bow and arrow that were glowing with dark energy. Was a very dark character. "My power binds those I shoot with my arrow where they're standing. If it were up to me, you would just be a dead pro hero on my list, but the boss might have some use for you." Those words were enough to shake Power Arm out of the trance he was in. He shot a powered-up punch right into the man's side, getting him away from the children. Unfortunately, the move didn't seem very effective, as his fist passed right into the villain's chest. You broke out. Maybe you're not the D-lister everyone says you are, Power Arm. The cloaked figure sidekicked Power Arm away from the room and shot more arrows. However, Power Arm, knowing what opponent he was up against, he was able to dodge. You're Decidueye, the Shadow Archer. What's a Hawaii villain doing all the way in this part of Japan? Shouldn't a hero know better than to ask questions during a fight? Power Arm landed blow after blow, but they either missed or passed right through Decidueye. Power Arm grew frustrated, and on a whim, he used his bow staff to hit Decidueye right in the face. Right, finally. Decidueye, you and your comrades are under arrest for the abduction of my...
Hey, hero. We got a little something for ya.
It was Drifloon. He had Zoroark in his right hand, and he was dragging her. It was clear she was unable to battle.
Hey, and get this, Foxy here's not even a pro hero. She's a vigilante. Now surrender, and call off whatever backup you had coming, and we might just let you twos live.
Arm and Zoroark were trapped by one of Decidueye's arrows. You're a vigilante. Yes. Why didn't you just tell me you weren't a licensed hero? Because you would have just sent me away and I need to find my kid. Because that ended so well. Hey, I'm only here because no pro hero would take the case. I waited for weeks and nobody called me back. I'd finally had enough when they said heroes deal with bigger emergencies than some missing little girl. Don't blame me for wanting my daughter back. Power Arm finally realized the gravity of the situation, and the guilt from ignoring all those parents rushed right through him once again. I'm sorry. But just as he began apologizing, another presence entered the room. Have you secured the heroes? Yes, Madam Persian. Hey, give me back my kid! I'm afraid we can't do that. See, the big guy, All For One, you might have heard of him, is looking forward to a new test subject for Nomus. These are children, and I'm supposed to care why? You're sick. And you, sir, are wasting your last words. Hey, over here! Everyone looked towards the ceiling to see Zoroark was holding a little girl that with hair similar to hers. No one knew how she got out of her restraints and got her kid so fast. Until it was revealed the Zoroark next to Power Arm was an illusion. Decidueye shot arrows at her, but she dodged all of them, and Decidueye was forced to chase her. With the Balloon Brothers gone, and Decidueye chasing Zoroark, Madame Persian was all alone. Looks like your muscle's gone. What does that matter? Power Arm immediately broke out of his restraint and got into a fighting stance. But while Madame Persian looked shocked, she wasn't scared. She collected herself as the cat she was holding leaped from her arms and turned into a giant anthropomorphic monster. Madame Persian's gem began to glow, as well as the eyes of the creature. Power Arm began panicking, but rushed in all the same and threw a blow after blow, punching with the force of bullets at the monster. Pathetic. Meowth, dear. Kill him. The Meowth, in a flash, backhanded Power Arm into the wall. The next thing Power Arm saw was the creature rushing at him, aiming for another punch. However, he was able to backflip out of the way. Power Arm dodged and blocked the next few attacks. That was until Meowth grabbed him and threw him halfway across the facility. Power Arm was struggling to get up and threw a punch at the Meowth, but it did no damage. The monstrosity reeled its fist back and punched Power Arm right into the ground. Power Arm was still conscious, but pretended otherwise. He was a failure, he told himself. He tried to go for a big case, but he ended up kidnapped and brainwashed by villains. He went for a small case over a missing child, and now he's being beaten up by the cat of a rich lady? He just wanted the humiliation to stop so he could go home and stop failing. That's when he heard crying. He glanced back to the room where he saw the kids. They were all crying, huddled in a corner. That's when he noticed how skinny they were. They'd only been fed to be kept alive, nothing more. They hadn't seen their families in God knows how long, and their last hope was seemingly about to be killed right in front of them. That's when Power Arm got up and realized this whole time he was being a hero for himself. He'd taken this case only out of guilt. Even though he wanted to do right by others, Power Arm was still only acting for himself. That's when Power Arm decided these kids had suffered enough, and they weren't gonna see him die. I'm no All Might, kids, but I'm here for you. That's when Power Arm felt something new in his hands as they began to glow blue. The Meowth ran at him again. Power Arm charged up all the energy he felt in his hands and then shot it at the monster. Ultimate move, Aura Sphere! The Meowth finally took damage. Power Arm focused all of his energy into his new Quirk Awakening. Power Arm punched the Meowth villain so hard in the chest it growled in pain. The Meowth grabbed him, but Power Arm broke free of its grasp and punched it harder. I don't know if you're listening, Madam Persian, but let me remind you why I named myself Power Arm. Power Arm jumped high into the air and hammered both of his fists into the top side of the creature's head. Because as long as I had arms and legs to fight with, I still had power. The creature tried to punch into Power Arm, but he caught its fist. And now thanks to you, I now know that I have a lot more power than I thought. Power Arm grabbed the monster and threw it into the ceiling. Unfortunately, it caught itself. But that's when it noticed Power Arm gearing up for another Aura Sphere. So it tried to rush at the kids. But Power Arm ran right in front of them and shot an even more powerful Aura Sphere right into Meowth. It fell to the ground and chunked back to its original state. Meowth, my angel, my baby! You monster! Madam Persian ran into the room and grabbed the cat. Madam Persian, you are under arrest. As Power Arm looked back at the room full of children, he noticed a girl identical to the one Zarwark was holding. He remembered her quirk and realized the situation. A few hours later, the press was all over Power Arm about him saving the children and his new Quirk Awakening. Zarwark had ran into Power Arm's reinforcements, and needless to say, Decidueye was detained. Zarwark was finally reunited with her daughter, after getting a slap on the wrist for playing vigilante. And Power Arm finally got the praise and recognition he desired for so long. More than that, he finally respected himself. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you're wondering about the last two videos this video was referencing, I'll leave the link to them in the link in the description. Quick warning, it's a massive quality downgrade, and they're very, very cringy. The dialogue is just horrible, and yeah. Tell me what other kind of drawing videos you would like me to do on this channel. I have a couple on mind of myself, so just comment down below. So, bye guys, and have a nice Monday.